Shalom Chavrim, I'm Steve DeNoon. You're watching Israeli News Live, and we've got several things that are going on, guys. We wanted to share with you, and of course, one of those is something that's, I guess it shouldn't take any of us by surprise. U.S. heavily reinforces bases along the Turkish border. Now, President Trump is continually talking about withdrawing troops, and it appears that, according to what Amman News here is reporting, is that he is withdrawing troops, but he's only replacing the ones he's withdrawing. And instead, they're reinforcing the troops that they have, especially along the border with Turkey, and of course up in Aleppo and also in Raqqa. According to the sources inside this article here, is speaking about that, and even down at Al-Tanf area as well. At the same time, President Trump has said to the Turkish President Erdogan, he threatens to devastate the Turkey's economy if it attacks the Kurds amid U.S. withdrawal from Syria. And that was right here on his tweet here, starting the long overdue pullout from Syria while hitting the little remaining ISIS territorial caliphate hard, and from many directions will attack again from existing nearby bases. If it reforms, will devastate Turkey economy if they hit Kurds and create a 20-mile safe zone. Then he also goes into a second tweet there, and he talks about that he doesn't want the Kurds provoking the Turks either. But this is just kind of getting strange. He talks about nearby bases. And if we look at the article here on Amman here, they actually talk about the U.S. reinforcing its military bases in the northeast, Aleppo and in Raqqa, despite U.S. President Trump's controversial call of his nation's armed forces to pull out from Syria. The London-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights is reporting that 150 military and armed vehicles, as well as logistic equipment and U.S.-led coalition forces, moved towards Al-Jalbay base in northern Raqqa and northern base in Ain al-Arab Kobani in northeastern Aleppo. Now, this must be what President Trump is talking about in the tweet, about the nearby bases. So what really is this withdrawal of troops? Is that just the different special forces that are operated, embedded with the Kurds in different places all along the eastern side of the Euphrates River? It really must be what's going on. And I'll tell you something, guys. I'm just, at this point, after what I shared with you the other day about the company, the Cayman Islands company that was owned by Rick Gates and that of Mulder, and their shenanigans of buying the telecoms communication company in Ukraine back in 2007 with money from those close associates of Vladimir Putin. And of course, these all being close associates of President Trump there. And then, of course, as it was said by the source, when I asked him, I said, what was this for? For the propaganda campaign before they were going to take and overthrow the country with a Maidan coup? And he said to me, you got it right on the nail. No doubt that's exactly why they did it. And with that being stated, then what was Putin's part in all of this? And why was... okay, I'm still kind of bewildered, you might say, because normally you think one side's a good side, the other side's a bad side. You have no idea that they're both playing in on this. And if that be the case, what's the gain for Russia? Because the people have been under sanctions now for how many years? Maybe 7, 8, whatever the case may be. I mean, it's been a long time since Russia's been under sanctions now. So as I say this in line of, when I'm looking at this, because I'm watching this whole issue with Syria. Everybody's getting their piece of the pie in this. And don't kid yourself, Trump is not going to go and attack Turkey. And no, he's not going to cripple their economy. I mean, they played together in order to fake this coup, stage a coup, so that Erdogan could take and go in there and imprison all the journalists and just pound free speech right into the ground. And so I'm just watching this. I'm really watching this from every angle now. Now, I'm just at the point I just don't trust any of them. They're all, I mean, it's just like when I worked with the government. Every one of them were crooks. You know, there might have been a good politician out there. If there was, I didn't know him personally, but I knew quite a few of them. And of course, all the ones I knew, every one of them were crooked. Anyway, hey, let's jump to Israel here. This was one interesting. Prime Minister confirms weekend strikes in Syria. And, by the way, in Israeli news, they're saying, of course, they got this, they're over the top of one of these tunnels here that they've discovered along the northern border of Israel, which really infuriates me to see that the Israeli military, knowing that these, I shouldn't say the military doesn't know everything, but you know, at least the those higher up in the government in Israel, the defense minister, the Israeli prime minister, they all knew that we had terror tunnels in Israel since 2014. But did they do anything about it? No, they're waiting for that great day to be able to launch the war against Iran and to blame it all on Iran. Now, here's what I'm going to get at, though. According to the article right here, though, according to another article I saw earlier, the terror tunnels, they have found the last of the tunnels, and now they're done. But according to inside information that was shared with me, and this doesn't come from intelligence sources, this is just some friends that I know there, that say there's people in the know, so I'll just say it like that, that has told him that after these terror tunnels would be finished, that Israel will then take Hezbollah and wipe them off the face of the map. So I'm going to wait and see. We'll just see how reliable that information is. Is that really going to happen, or what's next? And of course, if Hezbollah takes that type of a blow, may just be just enough to get Iran involved in it as well. So we're going to have to see how this all plays out. There is another breaking news. This one really took me, not really by surprise, because I'd been listening to some of the rift going on between Belarus, the president of Belarus and Putin. He's trying to calm down, not say too much, but he also was not happy. He said because Russia for the last 3 years has not paid their fees for their military bases inside the country. Now in a Russian news thing, Politobrozor.net, Belarus is leaving us, and we seem to be glad. That's what it needs to be. That's the way it translates on Google anyway. Dr. No, I won't read what they actually say there, but you turned up your noses to us after we fed you, etc. and everything, but now there is a breakup with Belarus and Russia. Will Belarus join NATO? I have a feeling Belarus is getting very concerned about their economic stability because of what Russia's suffering. So we're going to see how that plays out. Another one also here on the same news site there, the Kuril conflict, that's talking about the Kuril island there. There is some saying that Russia is going to give the territory back to Japan, but there's others that are claiming it's only a game. Russia will not actually do it, but they're worried that Japan might take the island by force. And in the article here, it seems to suggest that Russia could not defeat the Japanese Navy if this were to happen. Russia has them outgunned by subs, but when it comes to ships, they do have the advantage over them, not to mention, as I mentioned here too, with the U.S. backing as well. Anyway, listen, we are winding down. It's this coming weekend. We're going to be in Portland, Oregon, and today was the last day to be able to register as far as online. I think they're almost to full capacity, but I do believe that they're allowing walk-ins at that conference. Now, that still is soldiersofthelion.com, and you can go to their website. If nothing else, you can get the driving directions, etc. The address where it's Canby Grove, just outside of Portland, Oregon. So those of you that want to be there, Yana will be speaking on 5G, the technology there, as well as some other issues there. I won't discuss that right now. and Eli Marzulli will be speaking. I'll be going into a couple of issues. I'll just leave that as a surprise there. I haven't announced it at all. But anyway, we'll see. Some of that I will load on Patreon once we're done, on some of the things I'm going to speak on. May even load it here on Israeli News Live on some issues there. Not everything, but some of it I think we're ready. We can load it now. But anyway, trust this is going to be a blessing for you, and we appreciate you. Appreciate your support for the broadcast here as well. So, till tomorrow, we're going to kind of leave it at that there. And shalom, shalom to all of you. Listen, I disabled the chat, live chat. I apologize for those of you that are watching live. There was something in my live chat box that had popped up that YouTube was telling me that even in the live chat, we have to abide by the policies. I kind of take that as a little bit of a threat on their part there. I don't know what it is that's going on, but there's kind of, I just don't want to have them try to find an excuse to shut our channel down because maybe somebody's putting something in the chat that shouldn't be there, and maybe we're missing it. Well, we will start it back up again. I just want to find out what's going on with that, and then, once we know everything's safe on that and there's no big issues with YouTube, then we'll continue that on. Anyway, blessings to you. Thank you for watching the broadcast. Thank you for your support for this work. IsraeliNewsLive.org. You can donate there online, or you can donate as well right here on our YouTube channel, just up underneath the subscribe button. And, of course, we'll post our mailing address in the description below. I'm Steve DeNoon with Israeli News Live. Erev Tov.